You're watching Next Tech Insider, where we're looking to banter with some of the most eclectic and inspiring thought leaders in the innovation space. Today in my hot seat is Jess Butcher. Jess, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Jess, we've spoken offline about this a little bit, and I really want to get your take on it. What are some of the distinctions between startup and scale up, and then some of the considerations or challenges or issues within that space?
I think we in the UK are very good at startup culture, and we're less good at understanding scale up culture. I mean, there's the definition of a scale up company which has a product that works, that is either revenue generating or has serious market traction, and then has to act like a grown up company. And there's a very different challenges and processes that the business has to go through in order to continue to grow on the right trajectory once it's reached that market fit. And those are personal challenges for the founders. They're structural, they're financial, they're administrative. But I do think that the culture side is perhaps more interesting sometimes. You know, we celebrate anybody who starts up a company, but then often we kind of leave them to it when it comes to the scale-up challenges. And I sometimes think there's also a lack of ambition in the UK to really scale. You know, where are our Google, Amazon, Facebooks and Twitters and Instagrams? There are only sort of fewer than 50 unicorn businesses that have come out of Europe. And that's partly because we all high five when a business exits at a sort of double-digit million valuation, normally to one of those big guys. But there's a self-fulfilling prophecy there as well, in that we don't have a lot of the scale-up talent, and it's the talent that's so important. So how can we work together with businesses that have scaled, or entrepreneurs that have scaled, to really mentor growth into our fastest growing scale-ups? And there are some lovely initiatives along those lines. There's the Scale Up Institute, there's Silicon Valley Comes to the UK, which I've been involved in, which I love, which brings together that West Coast expertise with UK businesses that are on the cusp of potentially going global and really exciting propositions.
What are some of the interesting considerations to bear in mind when we talk about gender equity in the industry, or even just some sort of a level playing field? Because there's screaming headlines about woeful representation of not just women in tech, but kind of BAME groups as well. I think it stands at 19% for women and possibly 17 or 20% for minorities and things. Where do you stand in all of this? And maybe let's talk about female entrepreneurship first.
I stand on a lot of podiums and platforms and panels talking about the lack of diversity in my field. But the conclusion that's drawn from the lack of diversity, which is one that I've been asked to sort of go along with as far as the line, is that there's sort of something negative going on, or some sort of discrimination. And it's only recently that I've been forced to sort of evaluate that from my own experience, and to conclude that actually that has not been my experience. I have only found being a woman in this field a huge advantage. You know, it enables me to stand out, to get recognised, to get opportunities that, you know, I would say, you know, the positive discrimination aspects of what's happening now present women with huge advantages. I do think that we need more women in there, but we need them there by choice, not through quotas. Yeah. And I think that will only undermine the merit of those individuals that do choose to make that choice. And we're seeing a lot of emphasis on women, you know, wanting to be more on the engineering and the stuff side. Look, I'm an ancient history graduate. I find it hilarious that I'm held up as a woman in tech when I can't read a line of code, because there is a place for every different type of skill set within the technology industries. And in fact, often it's the creative aspects and the creative applications of the tech that are the differentiators between those businesses that succeed and those don't.
Absolutely. And indeed, the World Economic Forum released a report, I think about 6 months ago, about the kind of skills of the future, what will you need to be future-proof. And it was really striking. It's one of the things I see really often in my talks, is that actually it isn't shockingly just the coding and knowing a statistical programming language that tops the list. Actually, it's things like empathy, intuition, cognitive flexibility, and, you know, just stuff that you assume or classify as soft skills, which is a bit dangerous, because when you think soft skills, you're saying, yeah, it's a nice to have. But actually, some of this stuff is still critical, isn't it?
Oh, I think they're absolutely business critical. It's the soft skills that make or break a good tech business. It's the ability to go to market with those, to communicate the advantages of the technology, to understand the right partnerships to bring to bear, and to be able to chameleon-esque talk in different ways to different stakeholders at every part of that journey.
Jess, thank you so much for being in conversation with us
It's
today.
been lovely.
It's been so good chatting to you.
You too.
And thank you guys for watching.